How a useless kid got to give a TEDx talk. The problem with people's mindsets is that they will trust old and poor rather than young and rich, because young and rich must have gotten lucky, and old and poor have lived through cycles of rich and poor. So the assumption is that they understand life and money. Ever since I was a child, I have been labeled as a useless kid. Be it my teachers or the people around me, they all told me I am good for nothing and will probably end up not achieving anything significant in life. It resulted in low self esteem and a lack of self worth. Their tag became my reality. One time when I was in the 12th standard, I asked my teacher if I could host the annual school function, to which she replied, and I quote, "Look at you. You can't even speak one sentence fluently in English. You sleep in most of your classes. How can we afford to jeopardize the image of our school by putting a useless kid like you on stage?" I was devastated, but then I took it in my stride. As I grew up, I realized I am not the only one. There are millions like me around the world. In fact, most kids from our generation are tagged as lazy and useless by the people who are either older than us or don't understand the way we think. As a result, kids like me often find ourselves feeling powerless and are often depressed about our lives. We tend to get into a zone of self pity. Now, for me, self pity is like a spa. It's okay to stay there for a while, but if you stay there for a long while, it can be very detrimental. So, instead of wasting time staying in that zone, we should latch on to opportunities. And you may be surprised to know this, but the easiest way to do that is by building a network of people. In my case, I looked up to several influential people from different walks of life, and I thought, why not reach out to them directly? That could lead me to better opportunities. So I became that annoying guy who would stalk these influencers on all social media platforms and expect them to reply. I tried over and over again, but nobody would text back. Even when I met one of them somewhere, they wouldn't talk to me or entertain my questions even for a minute. Then, one day, I saw this ad on Google. I still remember the text: "Attend XX event to explore endless opportunities and build relationships with the world's top leaders." It was for a business networking conference in Mumbai. The next line was "Apply for free." And I was ecstatic till I saw that there was one condition to this offer, and that was if you have a business. I didn't have any business at that time. So I made myself the founder of Shamani Industries and applied to the conference. And guess what? I got in. There were about 400 people from different walks of industries at that event. I would approach people and they wouldn't even look at me and just walk away. There were some people who would talk to me for a while and then would disappear. There was a special category of people, those who would come to me and start selling their products and services and leave the moment I refused to buy anything. The same thing kept happening. Nobody valued me enough to give me their time. And then I saw this guy who was standing in a corner of the dining hall, and I went up to him and asked him, "Why are you not eating anything from this huge buffet?" And he said, "I was expecting some local spicy food. I don't like East Asian food." I was having the same problem. So I immediately said, "I know a place where we can get the best pani puri in the city. Why don't we head there?" We went to eat pani puri and talked for a while. He told me he was the president of one of the biggest youth organizations in the country and the founder of three companies. I was shocked. I asked him, "Why are you talking to me for an hour? Nobody in the conference even talked to me for a minute." What he said went on to become the turning point for me. He said, "Raj, we are surrounded by people who are constantly thinking about getting more or keep asking for more. In fact, most of the time we become that person who keeps asking for more instead of giving more. So, if you want someone to value you, give them value first. If you won't give them value, why would someone even talk to you? Right now, when everyone was busy selling, you offered me value in terms of pani puri. How could I say no to that? So, if you want to connect with someone, give them something first. Give them a reason to talk to you or value you." Boy, that pani puri changed my life, and how! I started researching the people I admired to see what I could do for them. For instance, there was an entrepreneur in Singapore I found inspiring. Instead of texting him to ask, "Would you help me by telling me how you became successful?" I texted him with, "I noticed that you are coming to India. Would you like me to help you publicize your tour?" And guess what? I got a reply. In fact, the same entrepreneur later invited me to Singapore to speak with him. After spending around 6 to 8 months connecting with young leaders, entrepreneurs, influencers, and business people, I realized I have built a global network of people from 12 different countries based on just one principle: give. Now, before writing someone an email, I ask myself three questions. First, what is my intent and why am I reaching out to this particular person? Second, why should this person care and give me even a minute from his or her schedule? And third, authenticity. How authentic is my message? Because obviously, I don't want to promise something that I won't be able to deliver. One day, I received a letter from the guy I had met at the event, and what he wrote was, "Thanks for the spicy pani puri. I remember you wanted to connect with like minded people. I hope this will help you." And attached was an offer letter to do a project with 50 young influencers from 30 different countries in Europe. Oh boy, that pani puri really did change my life. After that meeting, I never asked for any job. I never asked for any business. I just tried to add value to a person's life while messaging one person a day, seven people a week, and 365 people a year, either through social media or email. And that's how I built my network and got the opportunities to expand the reach of my work in more than 20 countries, and also got the TEDx Babson College talk. This is how you can add value, not by thinking about getting, but by constantly giving value to every person you connect with. Imagine a world where the intention is not getting and wanting, but of giving to each other. And here's the secret: one day, one person, one message at a time, for the rest of your life can get you from being a useless person to someone writing a book and telling people how he made it.